Hey guys, and welcome back. Kevin here with another video. This one is going to be a follow-up to my very first video that I ever made on YouTube. That first video was unboxing of PISCIFUN Chaos 60 reels. I had a couple of comments on that one. I had some people talk to me just as I was out and about, and they said that they would like to see a follow-up about what are my thoughts on the reels after I've had some time to use them. So what we're going to do, we're going to break these reels down. We're going to look at the insides of them. We're going to see, are they dirty? Is there anything worn? And we're just going to see what they look like. I've not had this reel apart yet, so we're going to open it up and see. I have been fishing with these for 4.5, almost 5 months now, fishing regularly every Saturday, some Sundays, and oftentimes during the week. So they've had a lot of use. My only really complaint about this reel right now is this handle. It's developed some play in it over time. I think that's going to be an easy fix, just to tighten it up, and I think it should fix itself. But with that being said, let's jump in. I'm going to start taking this thing apart. I'm going to tell you what I'm doing step by step. I'm going to show you what I see as I see it. And we'll see what we can find out. Now let's get to it. All right, guys, what we're going to do is we're going to start on this side. We've got 3 small screws. We'll take everything out there. Then we'll jump over to this side. We've got the one screw cap here that I'm going to take off to try and tighten this reel up. Tighten the handle up, I mean. And then we've got 3 thumb screws right here that we're going to have to take out to get this side off. All right, so let's go. The tools we're going to need, let's talk about that. I've got some thin rim oil here that I use for my pistols. I'm going to use that to oil everything inside. I've got a small flathead screwdriver. A very small, if you can see that, Phillips screwdriver, 10mm wrench, and my handy dandy pocket knife, because you never know when you're going to need a pocket knife. And for those of you pocket knife guys out there, this is a Camillus knife. It is pre-64, which means it has a lot of carbon in the blades. It's worn, it's kind of ugly. But you know what? It's a good knife. It sharpens quick and easy. It holds an edge. The downside of that, as you can see, the blades, they tarnish and they get to looking rough pretty quick. But this is I use this for work, so this is not a look pretty knife. This is a do the job knife. Anyway, set that there for your knife guys. So let's get started with this first coat. This cover just lifts off, and the first thing I see, my first impressions, are how clean it is. No dirt, no grime. I'm impressed so far. This cover just lifts off, I believe. Oh, it does, and it dropped out. If I can hold on to it here. The bearing that the spool goes in. I dropped out the bearing here that the spool goes in. It goes in this little brass cover right here, or brass hole. Everything looks good so far. This is the clicker. Sorry, point this at the camera. This right here is the clicker. I'm gonna lift it up. I forgot about these little black spacers. Pull all them off. That clicker just comes right off, and then the spool just pulls out. Looking at the spool, we've got the 2-pin centrifugal brake. I know a lot of the reels nowadays have a 5-pin brake. I'll talk about the casting and the brake and all that a little later on towards the end of the video as I'm giving you a wrap up, but I've had no issues out of it. There's a little bit of dirt down in there. Bad. I'm going to use this end of the towel here just to clean clean that out. I'm assuming that's just, oh crap, I just lost a piece. No, it's, look, I got lucky, a little piece landed right there. Let me put that back on there. Alright, let's start that part over, because woo-wee. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. Take a second to hit that subscribe button for me. Thanks. Alright, so you'll see the 2-pin centrifugal brake right here, if you can see that pretty well. A lot of people like a 5-pin. I've had no luck, or no issues at all with the 2-pin here. It's worked great for me. Flipping on over, the first thing I'm going to do is take this screw out here. There's a keeper that holds that nut on the handle. And I'm going to try and tighten this down to take up some of that play I have. Yep, there we go. It actually was a tad loose. I'm going to set that keeper back down on there. Put that screw in. And tighten that back up. We'll be done right there. Let's see. Oh yeah, that tightened that up really well. So the next thing we need to do to remove this cover is take these 3 thumb screws off. I'm going to start that with the flat head. And then finish them by hand. These don't actually come all the way out. These unscrew a little ways and stop. This bottom one's a little harder to get to. It's a little tight in there, getting around the drag. And let's see. And that one's still a little tight, a little on there. There we go. So there you have it. Right here is the other bearing on the other side, and look at how clean that is. That is just very clean inside. There's no dust, no gunk, no dirt, no buildup. It is impressive, honestly. I was surprised. I thought that I would see at least some bearing dust or something, but I see none. So I'm going to take some of this rim oil and I'm going to put just a drop in there. And then there's looks like a peephole here into the gears inside. I'm going to put a drop in there. I'm not going to try and take all this off to get down in there. I see no reason to. It's still working smooth. It's clean. So I'm going to put just a drop of oil in there and a drop right there. And now I'm going to just turn this handle to work it in. And I could already feel that being a little smoother. I mean, it was smooth before. I had no complaints. I didn't feel any grit, any dirt in it, but much smoother than it was. So we're going to put this back together just in the opposite way we took it apart. Alright guys, I'm going to take a quick break here to say if you're getting something good out of this video, hit that subscribe button for me down there. I really appreciate it. Let's see. Here's the foot on the bottom. So I know it will go like that. I don't really know what you call this. It's the button you put to cast, push to cast. So it faces me, which tells me, there we go. It should line up just like that. I'm going to screw these in. I'm going to screw these in by hand, just finger tight, and then use the screwdriver to put just a touch of tightness on them. I don't want to crank down on these. You know, this is all aluminum. It'd be easy to strip, I believe. Just a little turn to tighten it up. No. Alright. Flip her back over. Now we need to drop the spool back in, Just be sure that the spindle on the spool slides into the bearing on the bottom side and it drops right into place. We need to take the clicker, which I'm surprised at how perfectly clean this clicker is. I don't see that there's anything to oil. I'm just going to leave it there. It's actually got a little dab of a film still on it, from the factory. And it goes right here on these two posts. Oh, I turned it upside down. Goes on these two posts to the right of this brass gear. These black bushings go on top of each of the posts. And then this right here, I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to give this bearing 1 drop of oil right there, just to give it a little extra lubrication. All right, this goes on with the white gear going up here by this brass gear. And as you're putting it on, be careful that the bearing doesn't fall out. Also, be sure that you line your bearing up with your spool. All right. And finally, we take our cover, put back on here, line up the clicker. Nope, I missed it. Let's try that again. All right, we're going to put our cover back on, put the clicker in the right spot, and that lines your holes up. I'm going to drop each of these tiny little screws in by hand. These screws are not made to be handled by big fingers. Alright, now I use the little Phillips screwdriver to put them in place. And there she is. That is it. So, to wrap this up, what do I like about this? I like how smooth it is. I like how it's easy to operate. I like how it stayed very clean after 4.5, 5 months of use. That really surprised me. I was not expecting that. All right, guys, let's wrap this up. Talk about the good, the bad, and where we stand. I like how smooth this reel is. It is very smooth for a $52 reel when I bought it on sale with an 18% off coupon. I really didn't have high expectations for it at that point, but it is better than I expected. The brake. I started out trying to set the brake too heavy. I've learned that when I'm casting, I just almost open the brake wide open. It just really is that easy to operate that the brake isn't necessary. All it takes is feathering the spool with your thumb, and you get perfect casts most of the time. I mean, we're all going to backlash once every now and then when we're not paying attention to what we're doing. I will say that in 4.5 months, I've had one backlash where I had to cut it out. And that was a stupid Kevin mistake. I was drifting in current. I got hung up, could not get it loose, and I had a momentary lapse of brain power and just pushed the button to release the spool. And when I did that, it unwound wide open and made such a mess I didn't even do anything but pull out my knife and go to cutting. Every other time that I've backlashed it, it's been minor and it's been a 2-minute fix. So there's that. It's been very good. Casting distance. When I first got this, I did not like this reel. I could not get any distance out of the cast. But I found after about the 4th or 5th time out, it started to get smoother. It started to cast further. I really think there's a break-in period on this reel, during which time things are finding the way into place. That's all I can say, because now I get more distance out of it than I wanted to, or well, than I expected to. I cast with a 7-foot 6-inch medium heavy rod, and I've not measured my distances, but I am very pleased with the distance, is the best way to say it. So it's dinged up, if you can see there. I fish a lot on riprap, setting these rocks or these reels down on the rocks, dropping them, whatever. You're gonna get the paint dinged up. I don't worry about that. I buy them for their ability to use them, not to look at them. Some guys want them to stay pretty. But that's just me. I'm very happy with it. So the short and sweet of it, would I buy this again? Absolutely. And I plan to buy it. Probably will buy 2 more in the near future. And with that, I'm going to say, if you found this video interesting, if it gave you some information that was helpful, hit that subscribe button down there for me. That helps me out. That tells YouTube that you like what I'm saying, you like the videos, and they send more people to my channel. Also, take a look around my channel. I've got a few other videos out there now. Got quite a few videos catfishing. I've got some videos from the bank. I've got some videos from the boat. I've got some videos chasing skipjack. So I've got a good variety of videos going. Take a look at them. Let me know what you think. Leave me some comments so I know how you feel about my videos. And with that, I'm going to say good night and God bless.